Characterization of Thomas Stone. In the novel Cutting for Stone, written by Abraham Verghese, many characters, particularly Thomas Stone, battled with betrayal in its aftermath. Stone, a brilliant man, made a very successful career for himself as one of the leading liver surgeons in the world. Despite Thomas's intellectual brilliance, no amount of intelligence could prepare him for the task of raising two children that served as a constant reminder of the woman he had lost, which in turn led to his infamous act of betrayal. Thomas's interest in the field of medicine came from a very disturbing and short-lived childhood. At a very young age, Thomas horrifically watched his mother die of what he believed to be tuberculosis. This insecurity is what virtually led him to be engrossed in medical science. Through Thomas's strenuous studies, he found comfort. As said in the book, in the organized chaos of the hospital and the stinking confinement of its walls, he found both order and refuge. Thomas quickly surpassed his peers in medical school and soon realized that his work would be better suited in Ethiopia, a place where his skills could bring both hope and healing to the helpless. After a series of unfortunate occurrences, Thomas Stone ends up impregnating a nun, Sister Mary Joseph Praise. Though his actions are considered immoral in the view of the nun's religious stance, Thomas claims to have truly loved her like no woman before. When Sister Mary gives birth, she succumbs to the many difficulties of childbirth and dies in the hands of Thomas Stone. Faced with the pressures and guilt that were brought upon by her death, Thomas flees, abandoning Marian and Shiva and leaving them as orphans. Betrayal is a common theme that carries through this book and is displayed through every character. But perhaps the main source of betrayal is rooted in Thomas's abandonment of his sons. Both boys shared the repercussions of their father's actions, but Marian Stone was perhaps the one who was hurt most by his father's behavior. As a young child, Marian would wait outside the gates of Missing, dreaming that one day his father would return for him. He states in the beginning of chapter 43, "As a young child, I longed for Thomas Stone, or at least the idea of him." This innocence turned to bitterness as Marian grew older and came to terms with the truth of his father's actions. In an unexpected turn of events, Marian and Thomas's paths cross, and they reunite for the first time since the day of Marian's birth. Almost immediately, Thomas finds an unpredictable sense of belongingness with his son. After a period of uneasiness between the two, they begin down the rocky path of reconciliation. After a long bout with his father, Marian is faced with a life-threatening disease that ultimately leads to liver failure. Marian puts his life into the hands of Thomas, the man who had abandoned him so long ago. Now Thomas is faced with the task of not only saving his torn relationship with his son, but also of preventing his son's fated death. In the end, Thomas's surgery was successful. Though he inflicted pain among many people through his acts of betrayal, deceit, and abandonment, he finally found an opportunity to make amends. Through the development of his relationship with his long-lost son, Thomas was able to find peace.